The house had burned down to the ground, leaving behind only piles of ash and charred beams. Among the remains, resembling a homogeneous black mass, a notebook with a thick leather cover was found. 30th March. All night I could hear my mom coughing from my parents' bedroom. Dad went to the kitchen several times for water, but she wasn't getting any better. By morning, the coughing had stopped. I barely fell asleep before school. 31st March. The doctor come today. He spent a long time in Mom's room and afterwards had a loud argument with Dad. Dad told me not to go near their room. When the doctor left, Dad came to see me. He looked very tired. He hugged me and said Mom would recover soon. We watched cartoons together, but I could see he wasn't really paying attention. 1st April. Dad woke me up in the morning, acting strangely. He said I didn't have to go to school today. Dad said Mom had gotten even sicker and it was better not to disturb her. I could hear some commotion coming from her room, but tried not to pay attention. Dad and I went for a walk in the evening. He was very quiet, startled by every little sound. When I asked about Mom, he abruptly changed the subject. 2nd April. In the morning, Dad was standing by my bed, staring at me intently. I got very scared. He kept asking if I had gone into Mom's room. After making sure I hadn't been there, he fed me and sent me to school. I noticed a white patch on his temple, as if he had scratched himself bloody. Dad is acting more and more strange. I'm scared. When I came home, I saw Dad bringing something wrapped in a black bag into the house. Seeing me, he immediately hid it behind his back. The house had a strange metallic smell. Dad was muttering to himself, not responding to me. Even when I cried, he walked right past. I didn't get any dinner tonight. Did homework and went to bed, but couldn't fall asleep. 3rd April. I was woken up by a horrible scream. It was still dark. I ran to the door, but Dad entered the room. He looked deranged, hiding something behind his back. He ordered me to go back to sleep and left. I didn't sleep a wink. In the morning, Dad was gone. Passing my parents' bedroom, I saw some shadow in the gap under the door. I wanted to look inside, but just then I heard the front door slam. Dad had returned. His arm was bandaged. He said he had fallen. Looked awful, like he hadn't slept for a week. During the day, I saw Dad bringing another black bag into the house. There was a sharp smell of iron. Dad kept muttering to himself, ignoring me. Even when I cried, he walked right by. No dinner again. Did homework and went to bed. If only Mom would get better soon. 4th April. Dad woke me up in the middle of the night. Through tears, he told me to wash up and put on a nice dress. Today, I would finally get to see Mom. She had missed me very much, and I had to feed her. I was happy. I took my notebook to show Mom my entries. When I got dressed, Dad took me by the hand. His grip was tight as he dragged me down the hall. I cried and begged him to let me go, but he didn't react. At the door, Dad knelt before me. He said in a trembling voice, "Sunshine, be kind to Mom. She has missed you very much." And he pushed me into the room. I fell to the floor. Getting up, I turned to the door and screamed for Dad not to lock me in. But it was too late. The room had a horrible smell. "Mom," I called. There was shuffling and clanking of chains from the corner. Feeling for the light switch, I flicked it on. For a second, the room was illuminated, and I saw Mom. She stood a few meters away, reaching out bloody hands towards me. Her neck was squeezed by a spiked dog collar with sharp spikes. A chain led from the collar to the wall. Mom's eyes were red, full of rage. She snapped her teeth as she looked at me. I screamed and rushed to the door, but it was locked. I crawled into the closet and closed myself inside. Outside, I could hear Mom's heavy breathing and the clanking of the chains. She was trying to get free. I trembled with horror, covering my mouth so as not to scream. Morning came. I heard the door open. It was Dad. He begged Mom to calm down, asked why she was still hungry. After all, he had given her meat, but Mom just growled in response. Suddenly, I smelled gas. Dad apologized to Mom and said this was the only way out. There was a commotion, a scream, gurgling. It seemed like Mom had attacked him. I put my hands over my mouth so as not to scream. Mom ran out of the room. I could hear her prowling around the house looking for me. I took Dad's lighter from the closet. This was my only chance. Goodbye. The entry ended there. Among the debris, 2 charred bodies were found. The mother's body was never recovered. They say that sometimes at night, someone can be heard rummaging through the ruins. Could it be that Mom is still looking for her daughter?